Sup guys, Force15 here, and today I have another live event for you guys, and I've been distracted by my phone. It was actually notifying me that this has started up, which is quite funny. Yeah, so at the moment we're tracking Typhoon Nida, which has just made landfall in the Philippines as a Category 1 typhoon. Storms expected to continue moving to the west-northwest, possibly attaining Category 2 intensity, possibly before a landfall in the region, possibly around Hong Kong. It's a little bit uncertain as to whether the landfall will be at the precise moment in time, though just it's sort of looking at landfall sort of in Macau or possibly Hong Kong. Possibly it's a possibility for Taiwan, but I think it's too late in the day now, really. Comes to say, really, because it's already it's just made landfall in the sort of Santa Ana region in the northern tip of the Philippines, and they're sort of also in the sort of Gonzaga region, Luzon. So just quickly looking as well, there's an invest off the coast of Japan at the moment, not expected to develop in any way, really. We also have Invest 91E now at an 80% chance of formation. I do believe now that the Joint Typhoon Warning Center have issued a tropical cyclone formation alert. Yes, they have issued a tropical cyclone formation alert on Invest 91E. That was issued. I think it was issued at 7:0700 today. 0700 Zulu. They released a tropical cyclone formation alert. And looking at the other two invests over in the Atlantic, you have Invest 97L, which is pretty much steaming towards the Caribbean. And that storm's gone up to a 40% chance of development, 70% in the next 5 days. They originally thought that one wouldn't develop, really, and the one behind it would, but now it's gone to sort of vice versa. And the one in front is now expected to develop, and the one behind is now down to a 10% chance of development. It's encountered unfavorable environment with the shear and also the so also, I think sea surface temperatures aren't really a problem, but I'll bring up my screen share, and here we go. So I'll just bring up the screen share, and here you can see wind shear around the Atlantic, ahead of Invest 97L. You can see the wind shear a little bit diminishing, but increasing as a sort of mid-Caribbean. Sort of starts to pick up when the storm will come parallel to Hispaniola and Puerto Rico. That's where the wind shear does start to pick up a little bit more. But ahead of the storm at the moment, the wind shear is decreasing, and it looks as though it might decrease a little bit more for the storm ahead of it. The Gulf of Mexico is currently having low wind shear at the moment, but the other side of Florida, not so much. It's starting to intensify the wind shear. And there's some pockets for the storm to develop, but it has got to fight its way through around about 30 to 40 knots of wind shear. And then looking it's a mixed story here, really. Just bring up the sea surface temperatures. Look at a global picture. This one is from the 29th of July, so this is about a couple of days old. You can see the Gulf Stream still going strong there. That's sort of the anomaly where like warmer ocean temperatures can sort of get pushed up in the Gulf Stream. At one point, that actually did manage to make it to the UK at one point. I'm now looking as well. I think that's the Dead Sea. I think that is. Oh, that's the Persian Gulf. And that's like that is really warm at the moment. But I do believe too small to sustain tropical cyclone development. Be a nice swim though. With like 35 plus temperatures, sea surface temperatures. Be nice and warm. Unlike here in the UK, where we're about 16 to 20. So still cold down. You wouldn't want to go swimming up in the North Pole or the South Pole for that matter of fact as well. So looking like a mixed picture at the moment. You can sort of see where the El Nino has diminished as well. Though also, as Craig said, it's sort of a strange La Nina where the sea surface temperatures are sort of, I think it's more of a balanced year where it's more equal in sort of, it's a balance, not El Nino or La Nina. It's just a sort of balanced time, really. Going back to Typhoon Nida. Storm has just made landfall in the Philippines. We'll give you now the full updates on the storms. So Typhoon Nida is currently located at 18.2 degrees north, 122.4 degrees west, east. Sorry. Currently with winds of 75 miles per hour, the pressure of 974 millibars. Storm is now a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale typhoon on its local scale. This update is as of 600 UTC on the 31st of July 2016. And then you go over this 97W, currently located at 31.9 degrees north, 141.7 degrees west. Should be east. 25 miles an hour, 1007 millibars. This is as of 0000 UTC on the 31st of July 2016. And then you also got Invest 91E. Storm's currently located at 14.2 degrees north, 119.4 degrees west, currently with winds of 30 miles an hour, 1007 millibars. This is as of 600 UTC on the 31st of July 2016. Storm has a tropical cyclone formation alert issued on it, which means that a tropical depression is likely to form within the next 48 hours. And also Invest 97L, currently located at 15.0 degrees north, 60.0 degrees west, currently with winds of 30 miles an hour, 1009 millibars as of 600 UTC. And that storm's currently at a 40% chance of development in the next 2 days or 48 hours, 70% in the next 5 days. 96L now down to a 10% chance of development in the next 48 hours and the next 5 days. Is currently encountering strong wind shear and dwindling sea surface temperatures, I believe, from the looks of it. Let's just see. Yeah, it's dwindling temperatures. The sea surface temperatures struggling to get sort of above 26. It's I think definitely at the moment it looks to be just on the threshold or just below the threshold. I think it could be on the threshold for subtropical cyclone development, but not for fully tropical development. And then we'll show you now the current satellite imagery of NIDA. So it's the visible imagery. I'll just zoom that in for you guys. Yeah, you can see it's sort of just made landfall on the tip there, and I'll show you on the map where that is. So it's sort of in the Gonzaga region. It's affecting the Palui Island at the moment. From the looks of it, there's not much human settlement there. And also, if you go Moro Island, both two quite small islands there. Affecting Santa Ana as well, which is a sort of it's a semi-dense area of population. You can see along here the street view as well. This looks like a really nice place. That's being hit by the typhoon at the moment, though. It does look like a really nice place. And this is one of the towns possibly taking the full brunt of the storm at the moment. So Santa Ana in the Cagayan Valley. Looks like a nice settlement. That picture was taken in December 2015. I think this was possibly just before Typhoon Nida. Not Nida. It was what's his name? It was a December storm in the Philippines, I do believe. Yeah, Malor. That was taken sort of either just before or just after Malor. I don't know when the image was taken, but this was around the time of Typhoon Malor. If you guys check out, actually, I have some questions here. The Golden Mine Court, TNGC. Is this UK storms okay? No, no idea. Hope. No, it's tropics, hurricanes, typhoons. We don't want to be hit. Okay. Yeah. If you guys are watching, smash the thumbs up, smash subscribe, and also you can check out my website force-15.weebly.com. That's all in the description below. You can also check out Facebook and Twitter. You can have me on Skype at michael.scott381. You can also join the Force 15 chat room on the link below as well. That's on Skype. So I'll give you a quick update again on the current situation. Typhoon Nida currently located at 18.2 degrees north, 122.4 degrees east, with winds of 75 miles per hour and a pressure of 974 millibars, a Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. This as of 600 UTC on the 31st of July 2016. How are you, Golden Mine Court TGMC? If you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Now I'll go back, just turn off my screen share. Just turn the camera back on. I know it's a bit of a crappy camera, but I'll be sorting that soon. Hopefully, if we can get some money, if we make a doing a car boot, though I'm just trying to see if we can get a better camera at the moment. So I got a picture from Jesper from RAM. Looks like night is starting to set over there. looks of it, this is sort of the sort of every couple of minutes imagery. I'll put my screen share back on and I'll show you guys this. If there's anyone in the Philippines watching, thoughts are with you guys. I do know it's sort of not as bad as past storms, but even a typhoon is still something to worry about. You know, you can see the 1 minute imagery. It cuts out about 8:49 Zulu because I think that's when the sun sort of sets. And when they can't get visible imagery anymore. So we've got that imagery. Thanks, Jesper, for sending me that link. No, I don't actually have any now. CDs God Mine Court. So if you guys do have any questions or comments, put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer anything you might have. Yeah. Quickly go through some past storms that have hit the Philippines as well. And especially last year was quite active in the Pacific region. Working backwards, we had Tropical Depression 29W on Yok, Typhoon Nida. We also had Typhoon Kopulando, Murine, or there's a spider on there. Where's that spider? Fuck it. I'm easily distracted. Marine was actually quite an interesting one. Went from tropical storm to category 4 within 18 hours before making landfall sort of in the area around, I think it was, can't remember the island's name. I think it was Hainan. Yeah, it's Hainan. But I think it was sort of more on the area around sort of Haiku, or possibly the mainland bit of Sahajang. Quickly intensified to a category 4. And also had this didn't hit the Philippines, but this was also quite a memorable storm with Typhoon Jenny, which hit Taiwan as a category 4, and also having long-lived Kilo as well, coming in from the Central Pacific. The Goni did threaten the Philippines as a category 4, but mercifully stalled and weakened to a category 1, and then moved north up towards Japan, although it did make landfall in Japan as a category 3. And also Sudalore as well, another memorable one. It didn't make landfall at its peak intensity, but it still was a category 3, borderline 4. And then also having typhoon, what's severe tropical storm Lintha, as well in the Philippines, and also Knoll, sort of just skirting the coast, as a category 5. So that was quite a bad time there. And also Maysak. Luckily, it made landfall as a tropical depression, but the storm could have been a whole lot worse. Also, remnants of Barbie as well getting to the Philippines, and also Mikala. Though going back to 2014 as well, looking back, got Kajiki, Tropical Depression 4W Kaloi. Then you had Ramazan coming through as a Category 4. Matmo threatening, but eventually making landfall on Taiwan. And then also having a couple of crossover storms, if you can remember, with Genevieve, an interesting storm. Kalmegi also making landfall around about where it's actually a little bit strange. Is it is actually sort of taking the same track as Kalmegi. It's going slightly further north than Kalmegi did. And Kalmegi only peaked as a Category 1. Also had Tropical Storm Feng Wong make landfall. And Nuri threatened and actually entered Pegasus' area of responsibility. Then you had Tropical Storms in Laku, Typhoon Hagupit. Now that one could have been another Haiyan, but luckily it weakened. It was still a major. It weakened to a Category 3, but it could have been a Category 5. It could have been so much worse. So to that, I am thankful that did mercifully weaken. Also, Tropical Storm Jangmi, sort of tail end of 2014, sort of just about went into the start of 2015. Then back to 2013. And you guys might know what ones during this year. Had Tsunamu in January. February saw Mindanao being affected by the precursor to tropical depression, Shanshan Krising. By JMA, it was a tropical storm, but by the Saffir-Simpson scale, was a depression. Then we had Tropical Storm Yagi Dante, which formed near the Philippines, but I think just caused high surf there. Same with Leapy as well, formed near there, but just caused high surf, really. Then Rumbia, which passed through as a tropical storm, eventually going on to hit Hainan as a Category 1. And then Cimarron, which also hit the northern tip, around about where the same point of where Nida is currently hitting, sort of skirted the coast as a tropical storm. Went on to make landfall sort of in the region around Hong Kong or Shantou. And the precursor to Jebi passed through as well. And also Utah making landfall, which was the first sign of things to come, really. And then the Kongray formed near there, tropical storm. And then we had Yasagi, which passed through sort of halfway between the northern tip of the Philippines and southern Taiwan. And then having Nari pass through as a Category 3. And also then Crosa also making landfall on the northern tip. And looks it intensified to a Category 3 in the South China Sea before bumping south and actually weakening before actually making any sort of landfall. Then we had Tropical Depression 30W Wilma. And then after that, November 3rd, 2013 came around. And we all know this storm needs no introduction. Typhoon Haiyan Yolanda. One of the Dvorak T8 club. And winds of 195 miles an hour. And yes, that was beaten, completely blown out the water by Hurricane Patricia. But still, one storm that will probably live personally with me for pretty much the rest of my life. And also with pretty much everyone in the Philippines. This will live with them for years to come. And this was a storm. This was just unprecedented on how strong this storm was. And it took all of us by surprise. And going from category 1 to 5 in just over 24 hours, about 30 hours, I believe. Though the dots on here, I'll just bring back up my screen share, and you can see the dots. Just present this to everyone. There we go. I think you can see the dots here as well. And the storm, that's where its first landfall was. You can sort of see there. But when the storm intensified, it's every 6 hours. So you see, so you got 0 hours at category 1. We'll say tropical storm first. So you got 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and 42. It took about 42 hours, a day and a half, to intensify from a tropical storm to category 5. That was truly frightening as well. Same as with how Patricia quickly intensified as well. And here you can see where the storm made landfall. The islands that were affected by this were the first island to sort of see it. Guam sort of took the first direct hit, and it was in Tacloban in Hansma. Then Masbate got some of the storm as well. And then the storm moved on through Cebu, and then also through Negros, then Panay. I do believe Mindoro didn't see a direct landfall, but was badly affected. Also, Culion and Bozunga Islands got direct hit as well. The storm had weakened to a category 4 by that point. Though this storm was also just really unprecedented. The storm also did hit the island of Palau as well, when it during its passage, just as it had got up to a category 5 typhoon. We'll check out there are so many things got there. And also looking back at some other storms as well. Going back to 2012 was also quite a memorable year, storm-wise. When we had, we started off with Tropical Depression 1W, and then also after that seeing Moa. This wasn't sort of a busy year for Filipino landfalls. Storms were literally probably looks of it just sort of avoiding the Philippines that year. Though Katak sort of took a beeline for the northern tip, just about made landfall as a tropical storm. And then Jilawat, which threatened, but eventually ultimately didn't make landfall. And then Sontin passing through as a tropical storm. But then this was the warning of precursors to come, and we had Typhoon Bopa, a Category 5, which hit Mindanao, and then storm unexpectedly re-intensifying to a Category 4, going from Cat 1 to 4 in 6 hours. So jumping 2 categories in 6 hours. That was also quite unprecedented. Luckily, the storm weakened again, but didn't make landfall. Looking back to 2011. Semi-interesting year. We had a tropical storm, Bebeng, make landfall. Songda did threaten, but ultimately didn't make landfall. And Haima and also Sarika, both storms being making sort of close approach to the Philippines, and also Haima didn't make landfall, but passed just north of the tropical depression, and the sort of precursor formed around the Philippines, sort of just north of Mindoro. That storm formed, and then also having Knock 10 making landfall, and Namadol as well. It's a category 5, or close approach is a category 4. And also Nasat passing through. I think just about made landfall at peak intensity, but was a low end category 4. And also Nalgay passing through as a category 4 as well, making landfall at peak intensity. And then 2010, and you guys might know this year very well as well. The Typhoon Nida passed through, and also then this is one that everyone remembers. Typhoon Megi, monster category 5 striking the Philippines. Wasn't as bad as Haiyan. Did have maximum sustained winds of 185 miles an hour. Was 10 miles an hour short of Haiyan. But still, it was a very, very bad storm. Totally unprecedented. It was, I think it was forecasted actually to be a category 5, but not the intensity it was. And it's, I wasn't storm tracking at the time, but looking back at it, that one just thought, oh my god. But yeah, I will stop looking back at the storms now, and we'll give you guys a sort of a reiteration of the update. So this is update, not update, not the update, the latest update. Typhoon Nida currently located at 18.2 degrees north, 122.4 degrees east, with winds of 75 miles per hour and a pressure of 974 millibars as of 600 UTC on the 31st of July 2016. And also other storms active in West 96L, currently with a 10% chance of development, not expected to develop now. Storms currently located at 9.8 degrees north, 33.7 degrees west, with winds of 30 miles an hour and a pressure of 1010 millibars. And then also Invest 97 now, currently at 40% chance of development or 70% chance of development in the next 5 days. Currently located at 15.0 degrees north, 16.0 degrees west, with winds of 30 miles an hour, pressure of 1,009 millibars, so 600 UTC on the 31st of July 2016. And then Invest 91A, 14.2 degrees north, 119.4 degrees west, with winds of 30 miles an hour, pressure of 1,007 millibars, so 600 UTC on the 31st of July 2016. And that storm currently with 80% chance of development in the next 48 hours, 90% in the next 5 days. Tropical cyclone formation alert has been issued. And also Invest 97W, from the looks of it, not expected to develop. Storm's location at 31.9 degrees north, 141.7 degrees west, with winds of 25 miles an hour and pressure of 1,007 millibars. Typhoon Nida has just made landfall on the Philippines at the moment. Here's the visible imagery. There you see up to 800 UTC. And now we'll go over to the shortwave infrared. It does take its time to load up. They're just about as where you can sort of see the landfall on the northern tip. Most of Luzon are being affected by the storm at the moment. Water vapor imagery. Water vapor isn't a problem for the storm. There's a very moist environment around the area. Then, actually, you can sort of see quite a big outflow there. But from the looks of it, that might be a sign that the storm might be trying to intensify. Though it can't really at the moment. Though actually, with that imagery, I think the storm's made landfall actually sort of in the Bala region. Sort of around, if you see on the screen share, sort of around this area, I think. I think it's sort of around this area. That spider's back as well. Get it, bitch. There we go. So yeah, I think it sort of made a landfall sort of in the Aurora Memorial National Park area. I think Di Piccolo could be taking a direct hit. Just from the looks of that imagery, it looks it's sort of actually made landfall a little bit further south. Actually, not that area. It's actually up here, sorry. Sort of mountainous region. Because I just looked at the imagery. It's sort of where that inlet is, from what I can see, or possibly that just coming up that little bit there. So sort of in the Divikan Bay. So sort of made landfall in that little town there, from what I can see. Does look as though it has made landfall in that area. Go back to maps. See my Facebook there. You guys can check out my website, Force 15. And a look at the graphic at the moment. Forecast calls for a Category 2, 85 knots, 100 miles an hour. That's just before landfall in Hong Kong. Though the cone of uncertainty does take the southern tip of Taiwan, and also up towards Hong Kong. And also, I think it's sort of the extent of the forecast track does look sort of up towards sort of the Zeman or Quanzu region, and also takes it down sort of towards Haikou. A little bit of Hainan is in the cone of uncertainty. And most of the southeastern coast of China is in the cone of uncertainty at the moment. Sea surface temperatures in the South China Sea are sustainable for development. Looks as though the storm could quickly intensify if wind shear isn't a problem, which I'll just check that. Oh, I don't want real-time trains. I want the North Atlantic shear tendency. I'll go to West Pacific. Shear, now that can be a problem from the looks of it. It's sort of in a pocket of low wind shear, though it's developing behind it. That one is hard to make a judgment call on. Though from the looks of the water vapor imagery, sort of storms sort of making a spiral band sort of shield, really. looks as though yeah, it looks as though it's sort of making itself a shield to sort of save itself from wind shear, sort of like Patricia did. We'll go to the AVN. Storm's banding and sort of starting to intensify. But the wind shear isn't doing the storm any favors really. Here's the Dvorak. Storm is trying to organize itself. There's a JSL. See, they're struggling to intensify. Funk top. Rainbow. RB top. And so if you guys have any questions or comments, put them in the comments to the right if you're watching live, or below if you're watching after the stream. And we'll be catch up with the comments after the stream as well. And we'll see if there's any questions as well. There will be another live event if a storm does become a major storm before landfall in Hong Kong. I can personally see it possibly going that way. Maybe I'm calling for Category 3, maybe Category 4. Just because of the window it has, and if the wind shear does actually like subside, then no, I don't like guinea pigs, golden minecart. So if any Filipinos watching, then I'll taking questions from you guys, and also share any stories you guys might have as well, because I really do want to find out what Typhoon Haiyan what actually happened really. So I've got like get a first witness account. Yeah, I was really annoyed as well after Typhoon Haiyan, because as Craig said once as well, is that like you're watching a storm, but you can't do nothing about it. It's just like, you know, people are gonna die, and it was just, oh my god, you feel so bad because you can't do anything for the people being affected. Because ultimately, as well, Typhoon Haiyan caused $2.01 billion of damage and caused 6,340 people died. the only storms that have hit the UK before as well, Golden Mine Court, is the 1987 storm, which you can check out if you want to. The Great Storm of 1987. I'll put that in the the chat on the live stream. You can check that link out. So I think I might end the live stream there. But I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video, on the next live stream, which will be if Typhoon Nida does become a major typhoon. But thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.